feeling like I'm in God's waiting room, like the tide is shifting and I'm waiting to board the plane to a new adventure, one that I'm not sure of what it even is or where it goes. But I feel myself dreidel, 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 spinning top that will eventually land somewhere. Ben comes home tomorrow, 4 days in the woods. We've spent day in and out of the night. During the hunt, something I transform. A vision quest I'm on, willingly or not, I find a peace in the silence of the pie. Hey friends, so we are going to plant the garlic today. I picked up some bags of compost at the farm because they were just left over from the season, and I also feel like, it adds something great to the soil. It improves the soil quality, which means it can better drain water and also hold water, so your microorganisms and all the organic matter that you put into it can help your plants grow. They can work in symbiosis with the roots of your plants. So compost gives the microorganisms something to feed on, and it also, like I said again, it allows the soil structure to be better by adding organic matter, which breaks up the soil structure, and it just makes it more fluffy, loamy. If you have a lot of rocks, I try to pick out the big rocks and throw them out every year. I just have a bucket full and then I dump them somewhere. But yeah, adding compost will add a world of difference to the things that you're growing, whether that's trees, shrubs, vegetables, or fruits and vegetables. Oh, I already said vegetables. Or flowers, that's what I meant. Sorry about the noise. We live on a very busy street, road, highway thing. Yes. So we are going to be manually working the compost into the soil. I do have to say one thing. One thing my father would want me to teach everybody on the planet, and that is how to hold a shovel. The hand that is closest to the end of your shovel, to the actual shovel, the palm of your hand there faces down. If you shovel with that hand facing up, you are going to break your back, okay? You're gonna lose a lot of mobility and a lot of strength in what you can dig, like how much soil you can put on your shovel, how long you can last, and you're also going to limit your mobility, how you can move from side to side if you're throwing the stone or the dirt or soil, I guess is the correct term. If you are taking it from one spot to the next, if you're shoveling snow, this is huge for shoveling snow. Your palm faces down. So for a right-handed person, your left hand, the palm faces down. It's gonna feel really weird at first, but you will never be able to go back, because if I would try to shovel now with my palm up, it's like freaking dumb, okay? So there you go. That's my father's wisdom. He would love it if I shared it with the world. So now we can begin. Okay, so the garlic bulbs, they should be planted about, I'd say like your hand width, kind of. Well, I have really long hands because I'm a giant, but about 4 or 5 inches apart. And I always go at least 3 inches deep. I've seen people go less deep, but I don't know, man. I grow some really nice garlic, so I'm thinking, yikes, look at this hair. So I just wanted to show you here that I leave all the tiny cloves intact. I don't use them. I don't plant them because they don't yield a very nice bulb in the spring. So I usually buy the jumbo size bulbs to plant, and this time I got large, so that was a learning experience.
Wednesday afternoon or morning on Air Nation. Each one.
The law of vibration, where you realize, oh my God, this forest is sensing me. I may not be sensing it because that law has not here. You see the tree? And it's animated.
So I'm sitting here at the lake. It is sunset and it's gorgeous out. It is November, but it's now getting chilly because the sun's going down, but it was a beautiful 70 something today. But I'm thinking about something that my father used to say to me often, which was, you have to be mentally tough. And it has become very apparent to me recently because I observe people. So I have observed my boyfriend Ben. He is extremely mentally tough in certain arenas. So like he can turn his brain off to things that he either knows he doesn't have control over, or maybe he just doesn't care about, right? He knows how to decide what things are to him. Not saying he never overthinks things or whatever, but I've noticed that he has this skill. So I'm like, okay, well, interesting. And it occurred to me doing this running that I do in the morning, this workout routine that I've been doing for months now, since the summertime. And what mental toughness is that no matter what, you never let yourself down. So you don't let yourself say, I'm not gonna go work out today because I don't feel like it, or I'm gonna go eat that cookie even though I said I wasn't gonna eat sugar. Or it could be with your relationships, whatever it is. If you are constantly letting yourself down by not showing up for yourself and having discipline for yourself, then you are becoming weak. You are getting weaker and weaker and weaker mentally. And so in order to be mentally tough and to withstand and go through life resiliently and with sanity and with dignity and all the good things, you have to be the most disciplined with yourself. You have to do the things that you know will bring you joy tomorrow, not joy this moment. It's taken me 30 some years, 37 years to be exact, 38 almost, to understand deeper about what makes you weak mentally And it's allowing yourself to go places, even in your thoughts, in your actions, your words, whatever. It is allowing yourself to not have the discipline and integrity that you believe is correct and right and true. Practicing mental toughness is also practicing physical well-being, emotional well-being, showing up for yourself, doing the things you believe in, treating people how you know people should be treated in your own value system, and not wavering. And it doesn't matter what's going on in the exterior world. You make that decision because that's what you believe. That's what showing up for yourself is, and that's making you stronger and stronger every day. One of the many things that I've learned lately and really set into motion for myself as a daily practice as a homemaker is to wash all my dishes right away and also dry them right away so that your counter is nice and clear and ready for the other tasks and cooking and things that you want to get done throughout the day. I also have just incorporated a new daily routine of pulling all of my canisters and everything that you see along the wall front and wiping behind them, and obviously like in the front, like just wiping the whole counter down and cleaning my sink daily with baking soda, just making sure I keep up on the cleanliness in my home, and it has really helped a lot. So this day I wanted to make a split pea soup because I had picked up some split peas from the store and I had some ham hocks in the freezer that I wanted to use. So I gathered all my ingredients. I used some carrots and an onion and just the split peas and the ham hocks and then some seasonings. And it turned out really nice. It was delicious and healthy. I honestly have never made split pea soup before. The only difference I would have done is I would have boiled the ham hocks first to make a ham stock, I followed a recipe, which I usually don't do for this reason, but it's fine. It turned out delicious. And so I would have boiled the ham hocks first, made a stock, and then did all of these steps that you see. Make sure you rinse your split peas and pick out the ones that are whole and look like really wrinkled and almost white. They're no good to eat. And they always say to pick out stones, but I've never found a stone in my beans or peas. So, whatever. But definitely rinse them really well. I found the best method for me was to not do the strainer because I felt like it was taking forever to rinse all of them. And so I just emptied them out into the plate, and since they're heavy, they don't float in the water, so you don't lose them in the sink. And it's easy to kind of allow the water to get clear after a while. Then you know that they're nice and rinsed. So you want to do that first for sure. And then you want to look them over. And then you just want to get to your soup making. So first, like usual, I start by chopping up all of my veggies and getting them ready because they're the first things that I add to the pan. And as you guys know, I start with a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and then my onions always go in first because they just always get better with time. So I add my onions and stir them around a bit until I've chopped my carrots, and then I add my carrots, and I also do a sprinkling of salt, of course, to get them getting soft and releasing their moisture and deliciousness. And of course, that browning of the onions is what gives it so much flavor. So this recipe called for 4 cups of water and 4 cups of chicken broth. I just put 8 cups of water right in and added my better than bouillon later. And it said 2 cups of split peas. I ended up adding another cup later on because I just felt like it needed to be a little thicker. So kind of play with it. You're not going to overcook the peas because you want them to be naturally like broken down for the soup anyway. Like split pea soup is pretty, like there's no peas whole in there. It's just a thick pea liquid or gravy type thing. This is my first time making split pea soup, and I think also maybe my first time even eating it. It's good. These ham hocks I got them at Wegmans. I usually get them at the butcher shop, and I kind of regretted it because there wasn't a lot of meat on the bone. So more meat in my soup would have been probably a lot better, but nonetheless, this soup was super hearty and delicious on like a cold November evening, so I'm not complaining. I also added the last of the thyme from the garden and 2 bay leaves, and then you just season to taste with salt, and I did add pepper then too. Oh, and I also added 2 cloves of garlic, grated up with my microplane. And yeah, the soup was good to go. It was delicious, and we had it for a couple days for lunch too. Before the outro of this video, I wanted to thank you all for subscribing, all my new subscribers. Hi. Making these videos and sharing a story about my life and what I'm doing in the world is very fulfilling to me, and I love watching other people doing it too. It is the best form of entertainment in my eyes. I love seeing how people do things, how differently they look at life, how they talk about themselves in their life and the things that they're doing. So it's fun. So thank you for being here. And I wanted to show you next week. The footage is Ben and I digging this trench. So behind me you can see the trench to my little blue shed where I make all things beautiful. And so now I can have heat and I can plug in my tools and have light and it's just glorious and amazing. And so that's gonna be really fun. There's a lot to look forward to. There's so much coming together. Over these past couple weeks, it kind of felt a little like, yikes, where the hell am I going? But it's getting clearer, so that's really fun, and I'm excited to share more of the unfolding of my life, my new life, and have you guys come along for the ride. And I love that you are all my friends, so cheers, and I'll see you next week. And just like finding yourself chasing down a blazing sun, accelerating around the bends in the road and trying to peek beyond the obstructions of view, you go sailing along as an arrow through the trees, building excitement when cresting the point where the sky opens up and the big reveal steals your gaze. All you want is time to stop, for time to stop and bathe in the sense of awe that overcomes. So when I find myself in God's waiting room, I bask in the unfolding and the glimpses of what He has in store, wave upon wave. The new life ahead, mixing with the unknown of stirred up, murky waters of the past that no longer serves. I now know that there is a time I will reach equilibrium. New tides are coming in, and a shift in the wind brings once secret wonders to the surface. My sense of direction is restored, and the forward path becomes clear.